sunny day for a ride. Hello YouTube, Region Rat Rider here. I am on my 2021 Indian Challenger. So the first thing I thought, God, it's been so long since I shot a motovlog. Sorry about that. I mean, we have had not that great of weather, and I had a couple weekends and I had some other commitments, so I really couldn't get out of my bike. And I work from home. I guess I could have taken a ride after work, but there's just so many people in Northwest Indiana nowadays that, you know, rush hour traffic, which starts at 4, it just makes it impossible to get anywhere. So it would literally just be me in a video sitting at a light. Anyway, there's a lot to talk about today. And I didn't realize that there were so many things that I was interested in discussing until I was talking to someone who subscribes to my channel. They're like, I didn't know any of the stuff that you're talking about. So I get to play a little bit of news person. Oh, that's great. I didn't catch the light. Lovely. Oh, this sucks. Anyway, first thing I want to talk about is my second favorite motorcycle company, which is Harley-Davidson. Harley's done some important things the past 6 weeks. Even though I did shoot motovlogs, it hasn't been 6 weeks, but I didn't talk about them before because I was a Tail of Dragon. They dumped the Livewire and spun it off into its own company, which I thought was a really good move on their part, because I just don't see a bunch of people who want electric bikes going to a Harley dealership to pick them up. Not that there's anything wrong with the Harley-Davidson dealership for most people, but some people are just intimidated by Harley riders. Well, let's be honest, there's a bit of that Harley biker MC vibe going on. And I can see someone who's just looking, who's in the market for an electric motorcycle, one that has, eco-friendly and things. They're not going to want to go to a Harley dealership to do that. So they did that, but then I got to be honest, Harley kind of screwed everyone who bought a Livewire, because they came out with their first version of it, which is essentially the same thing. I think it has slightly less horsepower, and it has it doesn't have as nice paint. Harley's really good on paint, so it doesn't have as nice paint, but it's $10,000 less. That's substantial. They dropped the price by like 30%. So if I had a Livewire, if I had bought one, I would be just infuriated. Because now the same bike, yeah, it doesn't have the Harley-Davidson badge on it, but it's worth $10,000 less. So how much is your Livewire just depreciate in less than a year? That's not a. I just think that was kind of shitty to do. They should have modified it a bit. Maybe, I don't know. I think it was. As nice as that bike is, I think it was greatly overpriced. In retrospect, at the time I thought it really wasn't, because it was the Harley-Davidson version. And if you look at like Zero, the fit and finish on the Livewire was 10 times what it was on the Zero. But anyway, so they kind of screwed Livewire owners there. But the bigger news to me, because I don't think a lot of Harley people care about the Livewire. And judging by their sales, that's a true statement. The new Sportster. I think that bike's going to sell a ton. What an improvement over the previous generation. I know there's going to be some Harley loyalists who are going to be like, oh, it's not a Sportster anymore. It's, you know, now it's on one of those naked backs or whatever they want to call the thing. Well, those are the same people who are still riding around in Ultra Glides that have Evo engines in them. So, I take their comments with a huge grain of salt. No, it's nice. I think that, you know, Harley has a mindset that they're stuck in the past, and this is a very modern, liquid-cooled, seems pretty, like it's going to be pretty quick motorcycle. I know that some people are going to say, oh, it's too expensive. You know, that's a common complaint about Harley Davidsons. It's too expensive. Well, yeah, I mean, I think this one costs 15 grand, and you can buy a Softail Standard for less than that. But I think that they are going to come out with a lesser price version, probably with that 980cc version of that engine. It won't be as fast, but it'll still be faster than the original Sportster. But they'll get that price point down to I would say it'll probably get down to $12,000. I don't think they're gonna hit the sub 10 mark. I think it'll probably be $12,000, which, hey, are there Asian, well, probably just Asian bikes that you can get for cheaper? Yeah, but let's be honest, if you look at the fit and finish on a Harley, even a Sportster, it's night and day better than what's on most Asian motorcycles. They throw the cheapest, thinnest plastic on there that just does the job. Now, not to knock Asian motorcycles, because, you know, one thing I will say is there are a ton of Goldwings on the road that were built in the 80s and early 90s, and those things are still running today, and I don't see a lot of Harleys like that. So, not knocking Asian motorcycles, especially in the engine department. But when it comes to, you know, things like fit and finish, that's where they go the cheap route. It's not, they don't go the cheap route insofar as durability, but they go the cheap route insofar as luxury. So, you know, and it's the luxury feel that has a price tag associated, and that's something that Harley's really not interested in, you know, compromising. So their bikes cost a little more. I think that the Sportster, the new Sportster, which is right now called the Sportster S, I'm assuming they're going to have like a Sportster base. That was the aforementioned 980cc one. I think they're nice. I think they're going to sell really well. So that's my 2 bits or 4 bits, depending on how you look at it. What's been going on at Harley? I was going to give a quick... Police. Oh, I don't know what that person's doing. What? I don't know what you're doing, officer. Oh, that's the civil defense. He'll probably turn on his lights because he meant to turn on his turning signal. Anyway, not disrespecting anybody who's civil defense, but yeah. My quick review of my Indian. So, like I mentioned on my last motovlog during Tail of the Dragon, why I ended up with this bike. So I decided I'll give a quick pro and con. I'll do a long review later. The things I like the best about this bike, for one, is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, the performance. This bike is fast as hell for a big bagger. I mean, I've been on bikes that are a lot faster. Like when I was picking this bike up, I went on a test ride of a Rocket 3, which was a lot faster than this bike was. But for the type of bike that it is, and especially since you have a touring riding position, which you don't have on the Rocket 3, it's one of the fastest bikes in this class that I've ever been on. It handles like a dream. You know, I've had bikes where I've had to raise the pipes before because I scratched the hell out of them turning really sharp. I've never been on a bike, including bikes that are smaller than this, that for their weight handled as well as this bike does. It is ridiculous. I gotta be honest, I love the stock seat. I've been on the forums where people are like, I hate the stock seat. I don't know what kind of stock seats they're used to, but compared to the Harley stock seats that I've had and the Roadmaster stock seat that I had, this seat is a delight. It is very, at least to me, for my butt, it is very, very, very comfortable. I went to Tennessee and back, and what was bothering me were my hips because of the wind, which is why I have the wind lowers on there, and my feet because I had a big blister on one of my feet. It's a long story. But what didn't hurt the entire trip was my rear end. My butt felt fine the whole time I was riding. I never got off my bike and was like, my ass is sore. That never happened. So kudos to the stock seat. I like I had a Ride Command before on my Roadmaster, but this one's like the upgraded one. It has a bit more stuff in there. The weather system's pretty nice. I know that's only for 2 years before you got to start paying for it. For those of you who think that it's 2 years including GPS mapping, that is not true. It is just the weather that you only get for free for 2 years. The stereo, which I'm not going to turn on right now because I don't have any music, actually sounds really good. For only being 2 speakers, it sounds a lot better than like I remember my Street Glide sounding, or even my CVO Limited. I would say that if you had 4 speakers on here, it would be the nicest sounding stock system that I've ever had. Like if they came out with a Challenger with a Tour Pack with speakers, it would probably be the nicest sounding stock sound system you could buy on an American motorcycle. And I have that caveat because Yamaha, the stereo system on the Eluder is just ridiculously good. The things I don't like about it, I don't like the paint. I like the paint, like the paint color, but it's too soft. I have actually already scratched this paint just by like a belt buckle hitting the side of it. Whoa, what? Wow. Huh. I wonder if that got on camera. That was like a hawk carrying away a squirrel. I don't like the paints. And that's it. Oh, the other thing is I think they made the windshield too short. So I'm going to raise this windshield up all the way, just so you can see. I'm not that tall. I'm a little over 5'10", and the windshield's too short for me. So I think that I'm going to have to get a taller windshield, and I'm irritated by that because I shouldn't have to. I didn't have to get a taller windshield on my Roadmaster. I don't know why I have to on my Challenger. Wow, there's a lot of debris on the road. So that is my quick review of my Indian Challenger. I will do an in-depth one, including I think I'll do a speed test when I get somewhere out in the open, but I'm just cruising around today. That's my quick review of the Indian Challenger. This is Region Rat Rider signing out. I hope everyone has a good week and a great rest of their weekend, depending on when this finally gets uploaded. I'll try to shoot more videos. God, this summer has just really gotten away from me, but I'm going to try and do weekly videos, so we'll see what happens there. All right, until then, hope everyone has a great weekend and a great next week. Talk to you later. Bye.